looking nice, you know, everything on the atmosphere to what people are seeing, all the way down to, you know, the cups, having, you know, the see-through cups, dome lids, nice big fat straws, because what is this ready for? Instagram, right? Whereas, like, for example, maybe a styrofoam cup with a flat lid and a clear straw, it's not ready for Instagram or ready for people to be like, oh, wow, look at my shake and eat with it today, right? So even all the way down to the cup on what people are seeing helps create that atmosphere. Secondly, what are people hearing while they're in the club, okay? Uplifting, energy on the music and stuff that has good taste, right? You don't ever want to be playing anything bad in the club. Like, I believe it was Sim Hendrix or one of them said that they don't even play the news in their club or anything like that just because it's a negative feel, right? So what are people hearing while they're in the club? Music, and then also the conversations that's going on in the club, you know, because people are always listening. So what are the coaches talking about behind the counter? What are they talking about other customers with, you know? So we always want it to be kind of Herbalife related, or positive, uplifting, and energetic, right? So what people are hearing while they're in the club is a good thing too. Next one, what are people smelling when they come into a club? Nothing worse than walking into a club that doesn't smell fantastic, right? We always have like 3 Scentsies burning in all of our clubs. So you walk in, it smells like a cinnamon roll in here, or it smells like something delicious in here. You know, that just gets people's, again, touching on their senses. It's a nice place they want to hang out. Smells good. It relates with the shakes, everything like that. When it smells like, you know, when you walk into like and it smells like a donut shop in here or something, you know, it's kind of, people kind of like that stuff.
Yeah.
Next, shakes got to taste good. Got to be making the wow shakes. Of course, we add in different ingredients to ours, like the fruits and nuts and syrups and different things like that. But your shake's got to be wow, so they come back the next day for another one, okay? And that's just something, you know, you do on your own, because to us, Herbalife is a wow shake in a shaker cup, you know what I mean? But to the normal person out there who's getting their shakes at McDonald's and Steak and Shake, things like that, right? We've got to create a wow shake for them. So, you know, how's everything tasting? You know, your teas, your allergies, your samples, different things like that. Next, how are people feeling when they're in the club, okay? Then again, this all, again, relates to the atmosphere of the club, because atmosphere is key. How are they feeling? So not only how are they feeling when they leave, you know, with the product results, like more energy, different things like that, but also how are you as a coach personally making them feel, you know, giving them compliments, giving them hugs, high fives, encouraging them, right? Making them feel good on the inside. It's just an added bonus that we get to give to people besides the feeling of the product results that they're going to get. So just making everyone feel good, and then try not to create that doctor's office feeling, you know, more of a hangout place, and enjoy your shake and have good conversation, and you know, let people come in on whatever level they want to. If they want to come in, just get a shake every day, great. If they want to get started on an ultimate program, great. If they want to be a business builder, great. You know what I mean? But we don't kind of like, I don't like anyone to be like pressure selling or anything like that. It's just let everyone come in at their own level, and you know, decide kind of what they want to do, you know, and it's a real relaxed atmosphere, which keeps people coming back. And then so that's kind of it for the atmosphere, okay? Because atmosphere's got to set it up. It's got to have that touch to it, you know. And you could, if you would come to my club, you just walk in and you can feel it. You know, you can feel the positive vibes just bouncing off the walls in here, and it's just like, you know, people's eyes light up when they walk in here, and they've never even been here before, even know what it is or anything. They're just like, wow, what is this place? Because it's just got that energy in it that nowhere else has, you know. Next, you got to set up the structure for your coaches within the club, okay? And that's going to be your business structure that everyone can plug into and everyone can grow right alongside each other. And, you know, it's all about the invites. You know, how many invites are going out, not just by you, but by other coaches. What are we inviting to? We're inviting to the social events, right? So it's the club itself, weight loss challenges, fit clubs, spa parties, whatever it might be. But I tell all my nutrition clubs, they got to have at least 3 events going on weekly that they can plug into, and then that their team can plug into. Okay, and then of course too, what's the purpose of getting people into the club and getting people to come to these social events? Well, we want to eventually funnel them into getting a wellness evaluation done, and then eventually seeing an Herbalife opportunity meeting. Okay, and we like to call ours HOP events, actually, so Herbalife opportunity parties. because I feel like people my age and younger, they'd much rather go to a party than a meeting. So we've been getting, hyping them up as parties, and we've been packing the house with them because people are like, oh yeah, let's go to a Life party, and it's just crazy why they're in here. But setting up that structure for your people to plug into, okay? And then it's not just me. I let lots of people work out of my clubs and do the weight loss challenges and fit clubs and everything like that, because everyone plugs into the same thing, Like, how do we get our fit clubs to 50, 60, 70 people? Well, there might be 15 coaches that are in that fit club inviting people to that fit club. You know what I mean? So it's not like just one coach went out and built a 50-plus person fit club, right? It might be 5 coaches who each brought in 10 people to build up that big club. So the more coaches plugging into each event, the more people you're going to have there. And then the more, hype you're going to have, the more results you're going to get, the more backing you're going to have as well, too. Having other coaches in the room that can help and edify what you're saying and different things like that. So definitely setting up that structure. And then as far as like people working in my club, okay, so this is where I think we really get into the details on how to make a club work and how to make it almost technically run itself, okay? So to go over like our expenses and our partner fees and everything like that and how that works. So here's what we do. We have part-time people, we have full-time people. And each of them are required at the beginning of the month, they donate a certain amount of teas and aloes to the refrigerator. So here's an example of this. See if I can put it up here. So an example of the teas and aloes, and as they put them in, right, we'll mark them off, okay? So my part-time people, they do a half gallon of aloe and 2 large teas. My full-time people, they do a half gallon of aloe and 5 large teas. Okay, so that's going into the fridge at the beginning of every single month. Every partner puts in there because they can go out, do as many invites as they want to. We know that there's product in the fridge. Everything's going to be covered. Now, when they work in here, they get to bring in their own shake mix. So all of them bring in their own Formula Ones, their own proteins, everything like that. And basically off every shake they make, they get to keep 5 of it. That's how we set it up here. I know a lot of them are different out there, but that's kind of how we set it up here. So out of that $5, so members comes in. Let me just walk through the whole thing. A member comes in. It's going to be a $6 membership, okay? Out of that $6, whatever coach makes the shake, they get to keep 5 of it. The other $1, it goes into a pot, which goes to help cover expenses at the end of the month, okay? Now, if a member comes in and they decide they want to get a large tea, okay, because we do large teas and small teas. A small tea is a 10-ounce tea. A large tea is a 16-ounce tea. So if they want a large tea, it's an extra $1, okay? So the member or the coach that makes that shake and membership, again, they get to keep $5 of it because they're using their own shake mix. $1 goes into a pot for each member, and then the other $1 goes into another pot that's also going to go towards expenses. So off each member, we got $1 coming in. If they get a large tea, it's $2 coming in, right? And we can tell, and we'll make sure that matches up at the end of the night because we got our end of the night closing books and things like that. And so say we go through a day and we have 120 members signed in. So we know that there needs to be $120 in that one envelope. And let's say 50 of them got large teas. So we know that there needs to be $50 in that other envelope. So just through that right there, we got $170 going towards expenses just on that one day. Now we even have a third form of income that goes in to cover expenses. Believe it or not, our tip jar. Our tip jar, we just set a little jar up there, probably gets $20, $30, maybe even $40 a day. But that's just extra money that comes in, and we just put it towards expenses. So here's kind of how it works. My part-time people, they get 2 shifts a week. They each pay a flat rate of $125 a month. And they get 2 shifts. They have to turn their teas and aloes into the fridge. And then, of course, keep product on hand so they can run their business while they're working their shifts. Next, my full-time people, they get 4 shifts, but their partner fee is adjustable with expenses. Okay, so the full-time
Right.
people adjustable, part-time people flat rate. So at the end of each month, right, we have however many dollars came in for one for each membership, one for each large tees, any tips that we got. Okay, so then my end of the month calculation, I take my total expenses, I subtract my dollars in, right, which is my $1 for membership, the tees and the tips. Then I subtract my part-time people because they have a flat rate of 125. So let's say, for example, if I had 2 of them, I'd be paying, it'd be $250 that I would subtract off there. If you had 4 of them, so on. And then whatever is left over gets divided between the full-time people. And that's basically it for our system there. But with the busyness of our clubs and everything like that, like the dollars coming in, they almost cover our expenses completely. So sometimes my full-time people, they might not even have to pay anything for the month. I've had some months to where they actually even have a $60, $50, $60 credit because we've done so many shakes and brought in so many $1 bills that everything gets covered out by that.
So the total expenses again, and then
Total expenses minus your dollars in, and the dollars in is the $1 for each membership, $1 for each large tee, and then and then any tips you might get, right? And I can send you some of this paperwork too, Jack. So like all the different closing papers and different things like that we do that you can fill out, and it just makes it really simple. But yeah, so total expenses minus dollars in, minus the part-time people, which is 125 times however many of them there are, equals our leftover expenses, and whatever's left over gets divided between the full-time people.
Oh, the leftover expenses divide up between the full-time people to pay?
Yeah. So let's say if you had, let's say $800 left over in expenses, and you had 4 full-time people, you divide 800 by 4, all my full-time people would have 200 that month.
Okay.
But see, so this is it too, because when you have lots of people working at your club, that's lots of people going out and doing invites, and that's how you get those clubs up to doing, 150 plus shakes a day, but we're not just a shake shop. Like, we don't just do shakes, we do the evals, we do the events, we sign people up like crazy, we're breaking supervisors like crazy, we're doing the Herbalife business. This is just one of the tools that has really accelerated for us.
So just $1 large tea. Like, what are your typical shake counts for your clubs?
I'd say on average all the way through, probably 100 plus. At some of my busier clubs, they're getting into the 150s, 180s daily.
Mm-hmm. So with those types of clubs, they're probably what? Are they profiting at quite a bit at 150, 180?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're profiting because basically, I run these 2 clubs, and with the system that I have set up, it literally costs me nothing to run my clubs, because basically I got them filled up. So I got I think there's 12 people in the Zanesville shop and around 12 people here in the Newark shop, So you got all these people plugging in and paying their partner fees, and the dollars coming in. They're going out and doing invites where I'm just basically doing the books at the end of the month, and it's coming out good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're definitely profiting. And then too, what's exciting is that if the coaches get to put $5 in their pocket off every shake they make, they're excited about that. They want to have a busy club. They don't want to sit here and just twiddle their thumbs, you know what I mean? So they're out, they're doing invites, they're excited about putting money in their pocket after every single shift. And of course too, that's volume movement, because we want, it's great to do, I do lots and lots of personal volume, but if you get that royalty going through your own clubs is what you really want, and you want to train those leaders, because you train those leaders, and then what do? They go out and open up their own clubs. So that's why you got to bring people in, let them work, step back, and just let them go, because that develops leaders. Like in my clubs, I don't do the scheduling, I don't do the ordering, I don't do anything really. I kind of have someone that does that.
Mm-hmm.
And, through that, giving them, the power and things like that, that creates the leadership for them. And then they feel confident and they're ready to go out and do their own club.
Right. Okay, cool. 2, 3, 4. You said there were 7 things: seeing, hearing, smelling, taste, feeling, structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What am I missing?
I don't know. I don't really think I had 7 things, but we got the atmosphere, we got the structure of the business, right? So what are our coaches going to do besides just make shakes, right? Because we don't want just shake makers either. I make sure that people are out doing the deal, making it happen. Like in my Zanesville shop, you definitely got to be doing 2,500 before you even be considered to get behind the counter. Because who wouldn't like to come in, get behind the counter, and make, you know, $1,000 or more dollars a month just making shakes? Anybody'd love to do that, right? So I always, of course, want the people that are going out, they're doing the deal, they're finding customers, they're getting new members on the team, and then of course they got to be attending events, right? I tell all my people, you got to be going to events or you can't work behind the counter. You know, it's plain and simple. I only require that they work 1 day a month, and that's at the STS. And honestly, if they don't make it to the STS, I just take them off the schedule for the month. But it really gets, you know, gets my people moving.
So that's the one that's required, the STS?
All of them are required.
Yeah. What do you do? Do you for your invites? Do you give free shakes or?
Yep. You get a free shake. Actually looks something like this. It just says,
Yeah.
let me see, you know, free shake, free tea, free out, free wellness evaluation. On the back, it says valid for first visit only. But yeah, we just go out and we hand these out like crazy.
Yeah, I know that there's different philosophies on that. You know,
Yeah, there is. And actually, I do have some of my clubs who do half price shakes and different things like that. So, you know, I just tell the owner it's kind of up to them what they want to do. You know what I mean? But most of our clubs do the free shakes. A couple of them do like a $2 off card or something like that. When they all seem to work, the main thing is that you're getting out there and you're talking to people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see.
See, here's another example of too. So besides like just inviting to the club, we even got invites for our fit club. So like, you know, you go out, say you do your 20 invites to the nutrition club, and then we're also going to do 20 invites to just our fit club, right? So we're not just inviting to the club, we're also inviting to all the social events, and we're doing that all the time.
Okay. Let's see. Do you find like a certain number, you need to hit a certain number, like target for a club to like really see things really happening? Like, is there a kind of like
a certain number?
Oh yeah, kind of like, I don't know if it's a magical number, but where really things just start.
Yeah. I mean, and it can be anywhere, you know, because all the clubs start with low numbers before the magic starts to happen, you know. So, you know, I'd say around 50 shakes. You know, I don't think that if a club's doing 50 shakes or so, they should be good to go.
What's your hours on a lot of your clubs?
Our hours at most of our clubs, like our Zanesville shop, it goes from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then my Newark shop,
7 to 8?
Yeah, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We're getting it all day.
Wow.
And then my and then my Newark store, it's open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And the only reason it opens up at 8 a.m. is because I actually live like a half hour away from it, and I just didn't want to get up that early. But you know, you
making Brett's team money, man. You don't need to.
I know, right? Yeah.
So Kyle said Ryan's dad signed him up. This is what's so. I mean, I love this story when I heard it. And his dad is had passed. I don't know within the last couple of years, right? And so he inherited his dad's distributorship. So not only does he have his own mill 7500, but your dad's, I'm guessing, is close to that as well.
Yeah. Actually, he's I mean, a hair away from president's team.
The
Yeah.
That's so awesome, you know,
That's so
like he
cool.
built something that then
Right.
can go on to his kids. I mean,
Yeah, that's incredible. It really
it's
is.
killer. So these hours, I mean, that's kind of that's a long time to be open. So tell me more about that.
Yeah, so here's what I do. I have 3 people that open up in the mornings, and then they're going to work from 7 a.m. to 1:30, and then at 1:30, I have a shift change to where 2 people come in and then 3 people go home. So I have 2 people on from 1:30 to 8. So I got at least 5 people working every day. And sometimes, you know, I'll even just come in and I'll hang out and I'll just be back there washing blenders for them the whole time and just making sure that they're ready to go and whipping out shakes. But I'm not working all those hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, maybe in the beginning I was. In the beginning I was working open to close, but I have no problem with that. I got goals I want to reach. You know what I mean? But now that I got the club filled up, I don't have to work that much.
Yeah.
Do you find it like a lot easier to fill those time slots because they're able to make money?
Absolutely. If they can put $5 in their pocket every time they turn their blender on, they get to move their own product. They're excited about it. Absolutely.
So if there's 3 people on, what are they doing? Just rotating who gets the shake?
They just rotate if they can. Sometimes if the line's out the door, you make shakes as fast as you can.
Okay. So then how do they decide who gets what? Whoever made it?
Hey, speed up. You know what I mean? I tell people you know, I mean, we try to rotate, and for the most part, they do rotate. But if it's busy, there's a line out the door. I have no problem grabbing 3 blenders and making 3 shakes at one time. And if you make it, you keep it. There's no splitting anything at the end of the night.
Do you find that you get a lot of shakes at you know, in the evening like that, in those evening hours?
Yep, absolutely. Of course, I'm not as busy in the daytime, but we'll still do, you know, 50, 60 shakes after 1:30.
Okay. So 7 to 1:30 is definitely the busiest time.
Yeah, I would say 7 to 1:30 is definitely the busiest time. Maybe even a little bit past 1:30. You know, the lunch rush and different things like that. But then, you know, we might get maybe a slow hour or 2 there. You know, like the 3 or 4 o'clock. But we'll still be having some people come in through consistently. But then right as 5 o'clock hits, boom, people getting off work. They're right back in. Plus, we always got some sort of event going on almost every single night. So say a fit club, they go to a fit club and they come back and they bring another 20 people with them, you know, just adding to it.
Okay.
So we do use the events to help boost our evening counts in there.
So like, yeah, how do you run an event when the club's open? Like, are your fit camps at a different location or?
Yeah, they're at a different location, right down the street.
So then the fit camp's running, then they just bring them back to the club after?
Yep.
That's what they're promoting people to come back to the club after fit camp?
Yep.
When a new club is just getting off the ground, like, you know, they don't have that many people, but they probably don't need as many initially.
Right.
Like 3 people in the morning, 2 people. I mean, do some clubs just start off with like 1 person and then 1 person, you know, running?
Yep, that's how we started off with the North Club that I'm in right now. It was basically just me and my girlfriend, you know. One of us would open, the other one would close. And then when it started getting crazy to be like, okay, well, we did, you know, 20 plus shakes in our first hour today, and I was in there sweating like, you got to open with me tomorrow, you know. So as you build it up, then you can start adding people into the schedule.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, of course, too, if you're starting off by yourself, you might not have that team member ready yet, or people in that area that are ready to go yet.
So when people come in, with the free shake, right, you want to make sure that it goes to the right coach.
Correct.
So do you capture their information when they come in and put them into like a database?
Yeah, so when they come in, well, they're all going to bring their card. Of course, all their cards got their name on it. They got their own color, different things like that. Of course, it doesn't matter who waits on them. We're going to treat them like gold when they come in. But they all fill out a first-time membership card, which has their, info on it, as well as it has a little checkbox down at the bottom of areas of interest that they might be interested in.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll take that card, we put it in the partner's drawer, and that partner will get those cards the next time that they come in, and then we'll just do some sort of follow-up. What I've seen to work best almost is where I just shoot them a text, because it seems like people answer the text more than they do calls nowadays. So I would shoot them a text and just say, hey, this is your Coach Ryan from Healthy Way. I'm glad you stopped in today. Hope you enjoyed everything. I see that you checked. You're interested in free wellness evaluation. Text me back. I'm ready whenever you're ready, and we'll get you started or get you set up with an appointment time. You know what I mean? So I just give people the simple task of replying with, I'm ready, and then we set that time up. But say if they come in too. So say, example, someone comes in and they're not working that day. Okay, well, their product is still going to be here. It's going to be down in their own cabinet, but we're going to make that free shake out of their product.
Right.
Okay, so it gets made out of their product. We don't charge them for it. No dollar goes into the pot. You know what I mean? Because I want people out doing invites, getting more people in there, because it's just going to increase everything.
Do you find it's like one of the things I seem to notice with like successful clubs is that they seem to have like one person that is there like quite a bit to like build that relationship. So like people, what I found is like when a club has people that are constantly like rotating, it's not that they don't have that consistency of like somebody that they kind of like the warm greeter that when they come in and they recognize them and they're like the cheers atmosphere. Do you find that that's pretty important to have somebody like there most of the time, or?
I do think that's important, because, the people kind of hear, they know who I am and things like that. But every person that works in my club, they all build those relationships on their own. You know what I mean? So like whether a customer comes in, like it doesn't matter what 3 people are working. Like it's almost like they have relationships with all those people, and they enjoy everyone that works in my clubs. Because those are the kind of like personalities I kind of look for too, and people working in my clubs are the outgoing, energetic, love talking to people. So where, really, I feel like all the customers have relationships with all my coaches. It's not just their one coach that they, only talk to.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, definitely be there. Do what you got to do for your club. Be there. Open a club. Open to close. You got to be the go-to guy. If you're the head honcho, you know what I mean? You got to be available.
Yeah. Let's see. Kyle, you got any questions?
No, this is good. Very good.
And you guys are always welcome to come down and hang out for a day too if you want to. And Jack, I'll put together an email and email you over some of these different documents that we've talked about on this call, so you can just kind of duplicate it through what you're doing. But I think the main thing is with our expenses, the way we have it set up for the dollars coming in and things like that, I really kind of make it doable and kind of sustain itself, throughout the club.
You make it sustain itself through what? Sorry.
Yeah, so like all the dollars coming in and the dollar for the large teas and tips, it basically pays for the club. Like I'm not showing out a lot of money at the end of every single month to keep my clubs afloat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not putting in anything.
Right.
And that's what you want. You don't want to have to be like, yeah, I got people working, but I'm paying $1,200 a month to keep my club floating. You know, you don't want to do that. You want the club to pay for itself.
Right.
And that's how we have it set up with those dollars coming in and the partner fees and getting lots of people to work in there. I mean, the clubs pay for themselves.
Let's see. This is awesome. Do all the clubs have, like, pretty much all your clubs have those type of hours?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I think there's one club that closes at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But part of that reason is because I think they opened up a little bit too close to this shop here. And they're even on my team. And I even told them, I was like, well, you know, it might be a little bit close to us. It's literally like 5 minutes down the road. So I believe that they close at 3 o'clock now, but that's just because a lot of their people come to this shop. You know what I mean? But they open up at 6 a.m. So from like 6 to 8 before we open up, they are slamming, you know,
Yeah.
and they'll rock it out. But they're done it. But they close at 3. But then again, too, it's a mom, you know, that wants to take care of her kids when they're off school and everything like that. And that's one of the luxuries about Herbalife is you get to make your own schedule.
Yeah. Okay.
But I suggest people stay open, you know, be open, have the hours, because if not, then people just assume that you're always closed.
Yeah, I gotcha. Let's see. I know I'm gonna think of like 5 questions as soon as we hang up.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
do you do any additional upgrades like fiber or anything in addition to the $6 membership to create more income?
Yeah, if they want to.
Or do you sell like a lot of lift off or that type of stuff?
Yeah, we do lift offs. I mean, almost anything that's individually packaged, we sell. You know what I mean? Lift offs, H3Os, protein bars, soy nuts, soup packets. I mean, we sell it all. You know, but if they want to get an upgrade in their shake, like Prolesso or protein or fiber, then it's charged accordingly. And then whoever makes that shake gets to keep it because they use their own product, right? So say if someone comes in and they get a membership and they want to add in extra protein, so that's an extra scoop of the BPDM, we're going to charge them an extra $1, but the coach gets to keep that because they're moving their own protein.
Okay.
And then now, for example, on like the lift-offs and protein bars and things like that, like I have racks set, like, you know, little racks set up at the front counter or like a fishbowl with lift-offs and things in it. And now people can purchase those. If they purchase those and the coach that's making their shake doesn't have it, then they just put the money in my drawer for whatever it might be. Now, if the coach does have it, like say someone comes in, they pull lift-off out of the fishbowl, throw it in their tea. Well, that coach is going to collect that $2 for it. Well, then they need to take one of their own lift-offs and put it in the bowl. You know what I mean? So I allow them to move all their own product if they have it on hand. If they don't have it on hand, thank you for selling it for me. Put it in my drawer.
Okay. What do you do, like a buck for each of those type thing?
It just depends. Like what I usually do is I'll take the retail price of the
servings,
and I divide it by the servings.
Yeah.
And what I usually try to do is round up because you want it to be cheaper for people to purchase a whole can. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or a whole box. So, you know, you don't want it to be cheaper by me adding it in.
Right.
But then they'll never buy a whole one.
Yeah. So why do you think like you've had so much success in duplicating clubs out? I mean, do you think it's because like people see like that you're making money in the actual club? I mean, like with how much people are coming in, or
yeah, I think it's a
what
combination.
do you think are your, or is it, yeah, it's not just one thing?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of a few things. Number one, atmosphere. Again, people always see we're having fun at what we're doing because most people are not enjoying what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, you know, going to work, things like that. So they see how much fun we're having. And then, of course, too, that we're making money. And so that's attractive, right? Because we're having fun, we're making money. Because most people are not having fun and not making any money.
Right.
So, and then just having the busy clubs is attractive too, right? Because people come in, they sit there for an hour, they see 20, 30 people come through. They're doing the math in their head. They see the money exchanging, you know what I mean? They're calculating. So, like, for example, I had one lady who came into my club for literally almost a year, didn't even buy one product, sat there in the corner, got her shake, and just watched for like a year straight. And then one day out of the blue, she's like, you know, I think I want to open one of these in South Zanesville. She just hit Get Team this last month. Which is incredible, you know?
Yeah.
So you never know, and you'll just kind of attract more people. But now I think clubs are moving even faster because fear of loss. You know, people are opening up clubs. And now my core group in Zanesville, if you want to open up a club, I mean, you might have to move to West Virginia soon or something like that. You know what I mean? Because it just keeps expanding further and further out.
Right. Because you want to be spaced out by how far?
I would say, I mean, 10 minutes is probably far enough. 10, 15 minutes. People don't drive that on their lunch break, believe it or not, you know? They like easy, they like convenient. I mean, think of like a Starbucks, for example. You know, you drive down the main street, you pass 3 Starbucks. Well, why can't we have 3 nutrition clubs, you know? But I always try to put them on the, you know, put them far enough away that they're not going to cannibalize each other.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what you don't want.
Right. When do you think it's like the right time? I mean, some people go off and open up clubs too early.
Yeah, I definitely
Team
think
level or
yeah, I would say you definitely need to be pushing at least towards world team, if not like active world team. You know, you got to know how to build an organization. You got to know how to do wellness evaluation. You got to know how to teach the marketing plan, you know, because let's be honest, I've had some people rush into it, right? And those ones end up not being successful or not that successful. It takes them a long time to really get up off the ground because they're still in the learning phases when they're getting open, you know what I mean? So I always suggest that I bring people in, come work at my shop, you know, for at least 6 months or so, 3 months, 6 months, however long it takes you to get it down, because everyone kind of learns at different paces and things like that. But I always like to get them to come work in my shop first, see how we do it, learn it inside and out. That way when they go and open up their club, it's just, boom, second nature. We've already been doing this for a couple months.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your how many tab team do you have?
8.
8 Get Team?
8 Get Team members. And a couple, 2 of them should probably hit mill this year. Or, I mean, in the next few months.
How wide are you tab? How many tab wide?
I have 5 frontline Get Team members.
Wow.
And the other 3 are second line. And I have 10 frontline active world team members.
Wow. That's serious, man.
Yeah.
Is that do you think the primary reason is because of the clubs and duplication of that?
I would say so. You know, because
volume coming through.
Yeah, the clubs move lots and lots of volume. So, I mean, it's usually not long after people get a club or 2 in their downline. Obviously, they're hitting the Get Team.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah, because the club does so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Just does so much volume.
The thing is, too, you think about it, like, you get one club, you get 8 people working out of there that are hitting $2,500 a month. Boom, you're Get Team. And there's no reason a club shouldn't have at least 8 people working.
Wow. How many clubs do you have first line to you?
Ooh. I don't know, a bunch. I'd have to count them out.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, quite a few of them, definitely.
Do you have an issue with people wanting to work the clubs? That's like probably our biggest issue is we don't have enough people that can work barely any hours. And so we've got I think 6 active soups, but none of them are full-time. Maybe 2 of them are full-time Herbalife. So it's hard getting people.
Well, as you get going too, just always be talking about it, always be sharing the opportunity with people, because you will find some people. There's people out there that are looking for opportunity right now, you know what I mean? If you have to get a couple shake makers to cover some hours in the beginning until you find your true, solid, strong leaders, you know, so be it. Whatever. Let's just get it covered, get it moving. And then and you'll eventually find your leaders or people that want to work in the club, you know, and then eventually – hopefully you'll have a waiting list of people that want to work in the clubs. You know, like both my clubs right now, I got people that are bugging me to get in here and work behind the counter and things like that. And it's like, well, okay, you got to go out and prove yourself now and do the deal.
They got to do 2,500 before they can even work the counter.
Yeah, especially in my Zanesville store. Now in Newark, when we first got started here, we didn't have the team really established yet like we did there in Zanesville. In Newark, in Zanesville, you pretty much got to be a world team member to be even considered getting behind the counter. Here in Zanesville, or in Newark, since we were just getting started, we would bring people on that were just getting started, you know, with 1,000 volume point order or 500 volume point order that were interested in getting off the ground and getting the business going. Because that's just where we were at here, you know what I mean? So work with whatever you got. You know, you don't have to quite, you know, set your standards so high to where no one's going to come work at your club, you know what I mean? Make it doable for people. And then as you establish that team, then maybe you can increase your requirements.
Yeah. Maybe kind of like what his model, you know, we're not giving people an incentive to want to work the club, you know?
Yeah.
Like we did the model where, you know, they got to make money. I've done that at my club before. The problem I had was that people would kind of treat it like a job more so than like an Herbalife distributorship. I mean, they were like coming in, making their shakes, and
then clocking out, going home, and not thinking about Herbalife again.
Right.
Until
yes, right? And it's like no, you're treating this like they're treating it like a job. So I like okay, I got to end this. So obviously I wasn't positioning it the right way. I wasn't I wasn't requiring them to actually go out and invite or talk to people. I wasn't tough enough on them.
Yeah, because on my sign-in sheet, you know, they write down who their coach's name is. So I need to see people writing down your name every single day. And then, of course, we're going to go look at BizWorks. I'm going to see how many people you've been signing up. I'm going to see where your volume's at. And I'm going to check all this stuff, right? So as you get going, as you build your team, you can just start setting higher bars for them, and you'll eventually get rid of the shake makers, we call them. You know what I mean? Yeah. People that don't do the deal, and then also too the ones that don't go to the events. So that's why I require we go to all events. You know, the clubs are closed. We'll be there. We're doing Herbalife. We don't work at Healthies. We do Herbalife.
Do you are you open on weekends?
Yeah, we're open on the weekends.
Do you just close for SDS Day?
Yep, just close for SDS Day or LDW weekends.
And that doesn't seem to hurt, like that lack of consistency, you know, like because you're closing 1 month out of or 1 weekend.
No, just because people know what we're doing and why we're closed and why we're out there. And it's funny because one lady asked me, she goes, man, don't you lose so much money by closing for all these events? I said, no, those are my money makers. Like, that's when I make my most money.
Right.
It's going to these events, you know?
What are your hours on the weekends?
Hours on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, we do 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then Sunday, we do 10 to 5.
Friday and Saturday, 8 to 5.
Yep.
And then Sunday is
10 to 5.
10 to 5.
Yep. Now in Zanesville, they open up at 7 on Friday still.
Oh, you're just opening instead of at 7 a.m., you're opening at 8 on Fridays?
Well, I was thinking, I'm here in Newark. Newark, we always open up at 8. Zanesville, we always open up at 7.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So Fridays for them, it's still 7. And then here, it's just 8 because we always do 8.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Man, come on, Kyle. You got him on the line. Throw some questions out here.
That was my biggest one, man. That's the hardest part we have is, like, who's working.
Yeah, Yeah, so I'd say, you know, getting them in there. Are you allowing them to move their own product and things like that?
No, that's not something we've really tried yet. So that might be a good incentive.
Okay, yeah, because for example, someone like me, I'm not coming into a nutrition club to move your product.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just,
Yeah.
and I think to attract someone that's true entrepreneur, go-getter, leader, you're going to want someone that's going to want to do it for them too, you know what I mean? And what's their incentive
Right.
for doing it? You know, and my goal as a leader was when I opened up these clubs is I just want to make my people as much money as I can. I would literally sit back there, wash blenders for 5 hours, not even make one shake. So I'm not going home with any money in my pocket, but my team's going home with money in their pocket. They're moving volume. They're moving up the marketing plan. They're excited about growing their business. And that's how, from the result of that, you know, got the 10 frontline active world team members and 5 of them get.
Yeah.
Out of the 10, 5 are get?
Say what?
You said out of the 10 first line active world, 5 of them are get?
Yep, 5 of them are get.
That's awesome, man. You've been doing clubs for how long?
3 years.
That's it?
Yep.
So you opened your club 3 years ago.
Yep.
How many invites were you doing a day to get things going?
Tons. Like I said before, you know, there was only 25,000 people in my town. When I first started my nutrition club, we started off with 6 partners or 6 coaches that were working in the club. All of us ordered 5,000 invite cards. We had 30,000 invite cards. And I'm telling you, we just made it rain in my town. We went anywhere and everywhere. We were throwing them out, and people were coming in. They'd have like 5 or 6 invites.
Right.
You know, I mean, so we just went out and really, really just hit it hard.
Make it rain.
Yeah. And of course, too, before I opened up my nutrition club, because I was working right out of my house those first 3 years, so I already built, you know, my team up and already built a customer base up so that when I did go and open up my nutrition club, I already had some supporters. But I'd say, you know, for a serious coach, get out and do at least 25 invites a day.
Yeah.
And I kind of get everyone set up on 90-day plans, you know, and it's just a list of 10 things you can commit to do daily. A couple of them build yourself, and a couple of them build your team. And it's just getting out there and doing it consistently. But the thing is, more coaches doing more invites equals more people.
Yeah.
So you got to get people in the club. You got to get them making money. You got to get them excited. And they want it to be busy because they're putting $5 in their pocket every time. Because if they're putting, you know, money in your pocket every time they make a shake, it's not as enticing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're making a royalty. So let them go.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, basically they have to be, the club has to be profitable in order for them to make money. Like all the expenses have to be paid.
Right.
Or the part-time people are going to be making money no matter what.
Yeah, just as long as they make more than $125 worth of shakes.
Right.
And cover their T's and L's for the fridge.
Yeah.
But, you know, you get more coaches in there, that's going to increase that shake count.
Yeah. So they have to be at the club making a shake to be able to get the money and the volume.
Right.
Right. Yep. Because it doesn't matter who their coach is when they make the shake, right? I mean, because the shake is just a shake, you know what I mean? But if they purchase like a full can, then we relay that sale to the coach, you know what I mean? But whoever makes the shake is keep that money.
Right. Okay. Sarah, you got any questions? Hold on, she's on mute. Hold on, Sarah. Okay, now you're unmuted.
No, I said Kara and I were just listening to the call, wishing we had more, be happy to have a town with 25,000 people in it opposed to our 11. But no, it all sounds good. It's nice to hear a different way of doing things. For him, it seems beneficial because of the amount of people and active coaches he has. We're a little bit different over here. So sounds great. Wish I was there. Not in Ohio. I like Michigan. But meeting with all those coaches, that would be energy-filled and enlightening. I would love it.
Well, they don't start off that way.
Right. Yeah.
No, I agree. It just, I that's what I'm seeing the most. That's what I would want is a ton more coaches to be here with us so we could operate in that capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
5,000 invites. You heard him.
I heard it.
Yep. Hey, and actually, we even have, some of our clubs are in smaller towns. Like we have a club in New Lex, Ohio, and it's only around 4,500 people, and they still do 100 shakes a day.
Well, that's awesome. That's something to look forward to because I would love to.
I know y'all can definitely do it. And it's just, again, having that system where there's lots of coaches doing lots of invites and plugging into the system. That way your pipeline is just huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. We can crank it. We can crank it up there if we made a decision to.
I agree.
Like we're open 11 to 2 right now. Like we're going to do 30 shakes and that's about it.
Well, in the 11 to 2, I mean, that's a short time span even, that's still good for that amount of time being open, but I mean, when we unlock our doors at 7 a.m., there's cars in the parking lot, right? So what are people doing for breakfast? Because 11 to 2 or 3, whatever you just said, that's like just covering your lunch crowd. What about the people that want breakfast, right? We got to get them in there. Because, from 7 a.m. to 1:30, we'll do 100+ shakes, and sometimes in that first hour, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., we'll do 20 or 30 of them.
Right.
So those morning crowd is good. Then, of course, stay open, be open for the lunch crowd. And after work, people still want to get something healthier. They want to go to the gym and then come back, get their post-workout or whatever it might be.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, I think I got all my questions answered for now. I really appreciate your time, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. And just let me know if y'all need anything else.
Well, the good news is that I'm almost 15K and I have not even close to like a model nutrition clubs like yours. So we got a lot of room like for opportunity for growth.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, if I had what you have going, I mean, we'd be 30K. So
Yep.
You're doing great, man.
Well, thank you.
Kyle, anything else? Good to go?
Yeah, I'm set. That was good. I got good info. Thank you so much for that.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, Ryan. Thanks so much. Kyle and Sarah, if you want to stay on for a second, and then Ryan, if I have any other questions, I will definitely hit you up. I appreciate it a lot.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And
Get on the president's team.
yeah, when I get a chance. Oh, absolutely. I'm telling you, it's coming soon. This
Yeah.
time next year, I'm shooting for 15K by this time next year.
Yeah.
So it can happen for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll email you over any documents that we use here in the club just to make the system flow a little bit easier.
Cool.